All right, welcome everyone to GT 100, the podcast where we talk sports, real talk sports. We keep it 100 here. Before we get started, I want to say happy 4th of July to the man, my sports partner on the screen, James. Happy 4th of July, man. How's it been going so far for you?
We miss you at work, Gabe.
I know. I
Have
was on,
a
yeah. Yeah, I was on the other side. We were busy on that other side today, man. It was crap. I gotta tell you, man. Your crew on that other side, they handled their business, man. They did a great job today. Everyone did a great job in getting stuff out. No anything bad happening. We got busy real early on. I'm talking about like 7:15, man. And it was just going, but it made the day go by a lot quicker. I got home, showered up, took a little nap, and I got up. I said, "Oh man, James had texted me. I saw you were ready about 4:30." And I said, "All right, let me get up and get things going." And so here on GT 100, the podcast, as I said, we talk sports. We talk everything from NFL, professional sports to NBA to MLB to UFC to boxing to volleyball, whatever it is you guys want to talk about. College, the same thing. So if you want to hear us talk about something and we haven't talked about it on the comment section, definitely let us know. We'll respond back to you. So we go right now. We're pre-recording on YouTube GT 100. We have a YouTube channel. We have a Facebook. We have a Twitter page account, and we also are on Instagram. So I'm working right now on TikTok. So eventually, when we go live, we'll go live on Facebook, but we'll then share it to all those other platforms. We actually would love for people, if you like what we're doing, to definitely go to our YouTube channel, GT Sports 100. It's the podcast. Definitely become a subscriber. We're trying to pick up our YouTube subscription. So if you like what we're doing, you can catch us on YouTube. Definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. We definitely love the support. So, James, as we do here, we talk real sports, man. Let's get started here with the WNBA. We said we were going to talk WNBA. Let's get started here with Caitlin Clark. So, the big news here, Caitlin, the All Stars, right? There's a lot to talk about. She's a fan favorite. I think she got over 1 million votes, which was not surprising to me with all the hype. And she everywhere she plays in the arenas, people from different areas come to want to watch her play. And also, I want to talk to you about the players. Voting her in as the ninth best guard. I think there was a reason why. When I first saw it, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. But then I started, reading up on reasons why. I think they got it right. I'm a Caitlin Clark fan, but I think they got it right now. We'll talk about that as well. As we're also going to talk boxing, the big upcoming fight in September between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. We'll definitely talk about that. And we'll get into some NFL. We'll talk about the AFC East. So before we get into all of that, did you hear about the Dallas Mavericks? So I was reading an article in the NBA. Dallas Mavericks have come out and said, it was their webpage, came out and said that they would consider LeBron James, adding him to the team if the Lakers are to buy out his contract, then they would possibly start talking. They don't want to trade for him. They're not going to trade for him. But if the Lakers somehow said, "Hey, look, we're going to buy you out. See you later," the Dallas Mavericks would be interested. First of all, I'd like to get your opinion on, do you think the Lakers will buy him out? And then if they did, do you think he'd be a good match for the Mavericks? They don't need him, do they?
No, no, they really don't need LeBron. And I feel like, the Los Angeles Lakers, they pretty much tired of LeBron. His time is up. He needs to go somewhere else to try to win a championship. The Los Angeles Lakers, they're trying to rebuild. They're trying to rebuild their franchise and rebuild their program. And LeBron James he's in the way. He's stopping other young players from developing. And as far as going to Dallas, why would you even consider LeBron James? He plays the same position as Cooper Flag. So why would you consider LeBron James? I don't think that would be a great move for Dallas. I think it'll be a BS move for Dallas. Let LeBron go somewhere else and let Cooper Flag, develop into a star with Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis. It's the reason why Kyrie left LeBron. He could have stayed in Cleveland with LeBron, but he left for less money because he didn't want to play with LeBron. So I think that would be a bad move for the Mavericks to sign LeBron James. Just let LeBron James go somewhere else and let Cooper Flag develop, Kyrie Irving, PJ Washington, Anthony Davis. Give them a chance. Let's see what they can do.
I know that if LeBron is available, owners and GMs, I'm sure are going to consider, man, LeBron. I mean, he's 40, 41, whatever, in his 40s. Man, we bring him in, our chances go up, right? Like I know everyone thinks that way, or a lot of GMs, owners probably think that way. But talking specifically about Dallas, yeah, I think I got to agree with you. That's a bad move. First of all, I don't think they need LeBron to win a championship. I think Cooper Flag is going to get better every game, every practice, every year. I mean, this guy, he's coming in with a lot of hype because he can play ball. We've seen him play at 18 in college. I know the NBA is a lot different, but he excelled in college at the age of 18. I mean, this kid, everywhere he's gone, he's shown that he can play, and he's going to continue to get better. So I think Cooper Flag is going to get better. I've been on the record and off the record saying that he's right now he's a third option. He's a great third option for Dallas, right? Because he doesn't have to put everything on his shoulders when Kyrie gets back and Anthony Davis. They in year one will pick up a lot of that load and carry it on their shoulders, right? So Cooper gets to relax and be Cooper. They're not asking him to go out and score 35 points every game to have to win. This guy can have a bad game and still the Mavericks can win. So there's less pressure on Cooper Flag in terms of having to carry the team to win. Now, I do think that there's pressure on him because people expect him to play good. So I don't think they need LeBron. I think LeBron needs Dallas to win a championship. I don't think Dallas needs LeBron. So I don't like the move. I was just reading up on it. It was something that was written. I don't know if there was any truth to it, but they were putting it out there. But
Morning also.
what was that?
I seen that this morning
Yeah.
also.
Yeah, I don't like the move. So first of all, I don't even think the Lakers are not gonna pay LeBron over 50 million. If we're gonna pay, you're gonna play. I mean, you're gonna play, right? I don't see them giving them the money and then letting them go somewhere else. So Dallas said we're not gonna trade. I don't see the Lakers saying, okay, we're gonna pay you 52 point whatever that is million. Bye bye. They're gonna give him one more. You're gonna play. We're gonna pay you, and then after that, it's bye bye. So I don't think that's gonna happen. I just thought I'd throw that out there and get your thoughts. But I'm with you, James. I think that would be a bad move for the Lakers, for Cooper Flag. They don't need LeBron down in Dallas. Dallas is going to be fine without him. So I hope they don't make that move. We shall see what happens. Now let's get to the WNBA and Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark, you and I have talked a lot about Caitlin Clark. So I want to get your thoughts on a couple of things. Number one, um, her fan favorite, right? Like we know she's the most popular WNBA player right now. What are your thoughts? Let's just break this down this way. What are your thoughts about all of the hype? I mean, she's good. I've told you that. I don't think she's the best player in the WNBA this year, right now. But there's so many fans. They love her game and they play, and she comes in with all that hype. What's your thought on just her popularity in the WNBA this year? And is her popularity good for the WNBA league?
Well, her popularity is good for the NBA, but let's be real, Gabe. She's a good player. She's not a great player.
Mm.
Me personally, I don't think she deserved to be a captain on the WNBA All-Star team. I don't think she deserved that because you haven't earned that. You got it because the fans love you. Because you always playing a victim. When you get knocked down in NBA games, you complaining about they talking to me. You playing a victim. But that's part of professional basketball. And I don't believe that she deserves to be the captain with the rest of these veterans who's been putting up numbers for 4 and 5 and 6 years for her to be the captain of a WNBA All-Star team. I'm gonna read you her stats, Gabe. Read her stats. She's 12th in points.
Mm-hmm.
She's 13th in field goals. She's 88th in three-point shooting. She's third in threes made. She's 35th in rebounds. She's second in assists. She's first in turnovers. So, no, she does not deserve to be the captain of the WNBA All-Star team. I just don't think she deserves that. I think she's been given that because they're trying to make her the Michael Jordan of the WNBA. But what they fail to realize is stars in the WNBA right now who winning championships. She hasn't won nothing. What, you want, a playoff game, a playoff series? You haven't won nothing. So you don't deserve that. You haven't earned that. And I don't agree with what they done.
Okay, I can see that. She's been injured. Does that play into this right now? Because she has not been healthy. She has missed over 6 games. She missed about 4 games or so the first go around. She's out now again, and she hasn't played. Do you think if she's played the full season to this part, do you think those numbers would be better? Because I see the numbers that you're putting out there, but she's been injured. Do we give her a little pass because she hasn't been fully healthy this season?
There's been a lot of WNBA players that's been injured, but they still put up better numbers. They still
Okay.
put up numbers. Injury is part of the game. You're not gonna get no pass because you've been injured. You're not gonna get no pass. She missed what? A total of 7 games this year?
I think so, something like that. Yeah.
Put up better numbers. That's why they voted her the ninth best guard in the WNBA. It wasn't just for this year. It's also come from last year, from the veteran players who's been in WNBA 5, 6, 7 years.
I can see that. I'm not going to argue that point with you today because I do see that. I do see it's hard. The numbers don't lie. I saw the same stats that you did. I read them the other day, and the stats do speak for themselves. So it is what it is this year. I do think there is some haterade going around too. I think that they don't like her because of the hype, because of the way that the media has portrayed her. I mean, there are girls in that WNBA league that have paid their dues. They've been in there for quite some time. Let's talk about. Let's see. And it's the media. I mean, I understand the girls having a certain feeling a certain way. I don't want to say that they hate her because I think hate's a strong word, and I used that earlier. So I don't want to use the word hate, but I think that they have an issue, I should say, with the hype that they're giving her because they feel like we're part of this league and we put in our dues. Where were you guys at now? But for Caitlin Clark, I mean, she's a fan favorite. Obviously, they love her wherever she goes. It's going to be very interesting, James, to see as her career develops into year 4, 5, middle, 6, 7, because I think she'll be playing how much better she'll get. I think she'll get better. But how much better will she get in the next 3 years? Can she make herself a top player in the WNBA consistently, right? Because let's talk about another thing here. Indiana's winning without her. Like they're winning without her now. Like we used to think that, okay, she went down, they're not going to win very many games. They're pretty much beating a lot of these teams without their star player, right? So they win the Commissioner's Cup. They beat a very good, I think, Minnesota team, a team that had only lost, I think, 1 game when they played, or 2 games, I think. And they really beat them pretty good. Las Vegas, the Aces, they are struggling. But the defensively is where Indiana is really playing good. So they're winning good games against some really good players. Asia Wilson, a lot of people think is the best player in the WNBA. I couldn't argue that. Yet Indiana has been looking really good without Caitlin Clark. So my question to you is, Indiana winning with Boston, I think it's Mitchell, I think I remember her name correctly. They are really putting up some numbers without Caitlin Clark. What does that tell you about Indiana, because if she comes back now and they start losing, that ain't going to look good. Is there anything to be made of the fact that, look, yeah, you say Caitlin's good. I've seen her play. I love her game, but her team can win without her. Are they sending a message saying, look, we also, because they like her, right? But are they sending a message, hey, we don't need her. We can win without her?
Yeah, they really, telling the basketball world that Caitlin Clark is not the Indiana Fever. She's a player on the Indiana Fever, but we are a team. So it's just not one person or one player who leads us. Our team leads us, not one player. And they're showing the world right now what they can do without Caitlin Clark. Me, personally, once she get back, Caitlin need to cut back on her turnovers because those turnovers put the team in a bad situation. She, like I say, she's first in turnovers.
Yeah.
So when she come back, she need to cut down on those turnovers. But me, I like Paige Beckner. You know that. So, but we're gonna go back to Caitlin. Cut down on turnovers and play the game. Quit flopping. Quit complaining about getting beat up on the court. It's the WNBA. It's physical. Get used to it. Deal with it.
All right, and look, I mean, I'll say this about Caitlin. I'm a big Caitlin Clark fan. I love her game. I love watching her play. When the Fever, I'm still watching them play here, even though she's out. But the numbers I've seen them, they're not good, right? They're not where they need to be for a player of her hype, right? She's got to be better. She's got to do better in turnovers. And look, I mean, I'm going to continue to see what happens, but right now, yeah, she's, when people, I mean, I watch her game, James, and I love her game. Her game's exciting to me. I'm a basketball player. I love watching. I've been watching it all my life. She's exciting to watch, right? Her passes are like no other. I mean, her assist, what I think you said she was second in assist in the category or something. So, I mean, she can pass. But to be the best player, to be considered the best player in the WNBA, you gotta, your whole game has to be good defensively, offensively. You got to be able to take care of the ball, not only the three ball. You got to be able to be able to play inside, outside, shoot the three. So you got her. I guess what I'm saying is her development of the all around game. Her all around game still needs a lot of work. I would agree with you on that. And so, as much as I like her, I have to agree with you. Right now, as you called out her stats, they're not looking very good in terms of what a lot of people would expect her game to be in year two. So let's see I mean, she's got to get better. Let's see if she can get better this year going into next year. But her team, I didn't think that they could win as many games and look as good as they have without their star. They are not missing a beat without Caitlin Clark. I mean, they're basically sending a message that, hey, look, we can win. They love her. I know they love her. We're not trying to start up any stuff between Caitlin and her teammates, but being able to show that, we can go out there when our star is hurt and still play and beat these good teams and win. Boy, that's a big, big statement. So we'll see when Caitlin gets back, and we'll continue to talk about her here on the GT 100 podcast. So, your girl Paige, man, the Wings, they're winning some games too now. They started out pretty bad, but Paige is playing good. She's always played good, but her players now. I think the last game I saw, James, they had like 3 rookies playing with her, right? So I mean, they're all rookies. What do you think about their team? I mean, I know they're not gonna win a championship this year, but they're playing better. I think they won like the last 4 games. Anything you want to say about Paige and her Dallas Wings?
I feel like they have a young team right now, and eventually it's gonna be some veterans who's gonna want to come to Dallas and play with Paige Beckner. They are. I love Paige Beckner. I've been loving her since she's a freshman. She's a baller. Me, I told you before. Personally, I think she's better than Caitlin Clark. I think Caitlin Clark didn't come around until Paige Beckner got hurt. That's when she arrived. And Paige gonna show everybody in the WNBA who she is.
Yeah, no, she's doing it already. I mean, she went to UConn. Everybody knows what UConn and how they develop players in college. She's just on a really young team. I don't want to say it's a bad team, but they are very young and they don't know how to win. But they've got a leader over there that's really, really good. She puts up numbers, man. And
Yeah.
now, they're starting to come out and win some games now. They're starting to pick up some chemistry there. And when you say that you think that she's better than Caitlin, I don't know that a lot of people could argue. And that's going to be another good topic to talk about here is Paige and Caitlin, right? Because Paige is going to continue to get better, and Caitlin's going to continue to get better. So it's going to be very interesting to talk about their stats. And as the years continue to go here, in year 2 for Paige, 3 for Caitlin, as they continue to move on, which one of their games is gonna evolve faster? Is it gonna be Paige's game that she adds stuff that's gonna evolve a lot quicker than Caitlin, or is it gonna be Caitlin? So that's something else that we can definitely talk about here when we talk about the WNBA. But I told you we were gonna talk WNBA here on the GT, the podcast here, GT 100, and we're definitely going to continue to do that. Let's jump over now.
Hey, you know who Paige Beckman reminds me of?
Who's that?
Cynthia Cooper.
Mm. She's good, man. I watch her game. I watch her highlights.
Cynthia Cooper for the Houston Comets.
Yeah. Look, Cynthia Cooper was the Houston Comets. I mean, I know Cheryl Swoops, they liked her, and I remember Tina Thompson, but that team, they won with Coop. Coop was the best player on those Comets teams. I mean, she had Thompson and she had Swoops and they were good. But if you remember watching them back in the day, Coop was the MVP of the Comets. I mean, she could ball out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those days. Do you remember they won the first 3 championships when the league first started? I think they won year 1, year 2, and year 3. Am I correct? I'm gonna have to look that up. But do you know that offhand? They did.
Nobody beat the Houston Comets.
No, man. With Cheryl Swoops and Coop
and Cooper, you couldn't beat them. It wasn't happening.
No, I remember watching them. That's when the league first came about, and of course, I'm from Texas, so I was definitely cheering Houston on. But I remember Coop, man. She could ball. I mean, she could ball.
Ball. Uh, watch her game.
Yeah.
Paige can ball. She can really ball.
Yeah, she's really smart. She's very smart. Didn't come in with a lot of hype, right? I mean, not like Caitlin did, but everybody knew coming in. She was the number 1 pick for a reason. Everybody knew offhand. She's coming off of a championship with UConn, jumps right in weeks later to the WNBA. But I do think her game is going to continue to get better. And as I said earlier, you're looking at the Dallas Wings. They started off rough. They're now starting to pick up wins. There's chemistry, and she's doing it. She's doing it with a lot of rookies like her. They don't have a lot out in Dallas right now, and yet they're finding ways to win. Paige, definitely someone we're going to continue to talk about here in the when we talk WNBA. Let's jump over to boxing. And there's a big fight coming on September 13th. Canelo Alvarez, 63-2-2. Going to take on Terence Crawford, 41-0. Now, you and I have talked about you're on the ring side of Terence Crawford. I'm on the ring side of Canelo Alvarez. I want to get your thoughts. We're still a ways off. I wanted to bring this up because we're going to be talking more about it as we get closer to the fight. I'm still looking at Canelo and who he's fought, and Terence and who he's fought. So I'm not gonna ask for a prediction, but I know you're interested in this fight. What do you expect from this fight? 2 great fighters. Crawford undefeated. I don't know if he's ever fought anyone like Canelo. I don't know if Canelo's ever fought anyone like Terence, but what are you expecting from this fight come September 13th?
I think it's going to be a great fight. Canelo is a great fighter. Terence Bud Crawford is a great fighter. The last time really Canelo fought a great fighter was Mayweather. And what happened? He lost
Yeah.
I'm talking with the mechanics, the footwork, the hand speed. He lost to Mayweather. He's fighting Bud Crawford, who's a bigger version of Mayweather, who's even-handed and had the mechanics. He's a boxer, speed, power, footwork. It's gonna be a great fight. And Gabe, we're going to a restaurant somewhere and we're gonna broadcast this fight. It's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be the fight of this generation.
It is. It is. And like I said, I know you're on Crawford's side. I know you're gonna hope you're hoping for him to win, and I'm hoping for Canelo to win. So and we're still a little ways off, right? We've got August and then September. Not too much, but we come on Monday through Friday. So we're definitely, as we hit more headlines, as we see more things, I'm definitely breaking this fight down in terms of who they fought, and the power, the speed, so we can break it down. But just wanted to touch bases on that fight because you and I have already talked. I know who you're going for in the fight. I know who I'm going for in the fight. So it's going to be good, and we're going to continue to debate that as we continue to get closer to the fight. So tune in to more here on GT 100, the podcast, where we're definitely going to, in the next month and a half, continue to talk about this big fight. I think it is. We do definitely need to go somewhere, man, because everyone that loves boxing is going to be watching this
Fight. So we're gonna sit up somewhere, man, have a good time, enjoy the fight, speak on the fight, and watch Terence Bud Crawford knock out Canelo.
We'll see. We'll see. I like how you added that in there. That's great. We shall see. But we're definitely going to talk more about that. That's going to be a heck of a fight, and I can't wait for that. James, let's talk about the NFL. And when the season starts, we're definitely going to be making predictions here. So we do have a page, our Facebook page, GT 100. It's the podcast. It's a podcast page that has its own page. But on that page, when we start football, we're definitely going to add the polls, right? So people can go in there and vote and comment if you want. All of the games in the NFL, week 1, week 2. I'm definitely going to be posted up there. But here on the podcast, we're going to talk about it all week. They'll have games on Thursdays, obviously on Sundays and Mondays. They might have some games there on Saturdays from time to time. But the main games are going to be on Thursday on Prime, and then on Sunday, and then the Monday night. So we're definitely here going to be making our predictions. I'm going to keep records of my prediction and James's predictions to see how much we know about NFL football. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to be posting it out there. We're going to talk about it. But we just want to start off now. Training camp's coming around. It's around the corner here in July. But we wanted to kind of break down a little bit of the AFC East.
Like Joe Milton. Get rid of that. Start Joe Milton, the third.
They might do that. I mean, they might do that. We're definitely going to have into that we're going to get into that conversation too. They might do that if Dak starts playing like Dak. He's got a guy back there that's young, can throw the ball, very mobile, things that Dak can't do. That we'll see if Dak doesn't start playing good and Dallas isn't winning. Do they make a change? That's going to be a topic that we're definitely going to discuss here. Neither you nor I are very high on Dak Prescott. I know you're high on Milton. I'm definitely getting there as well. But I know you and I, when we talk about the Cowboys, neither one of us think that Dak is going to be the quarterback that can take the Cowboys to the next level, right? So we'll definitely talk about that. The AFC East, James, is pretty darn good. It had been good. It's lost some flavor. Let's talk a little bit about the teams that are in there: the Buffalo Bills, the Miami Dolphins, the New York Jets, and the New England Patriots. Let's break them down. Let's start off with the Buffalo Bills. Last year's record 13-4. They win the division. The impressive thing about these guys, they were 8-0. They didn't lose one game in the regular season at home. They were tough. Josh Allen played, James, about the best I've seen him play in a season. I mean, this guy was playing really with hardly any type of talent as far as receivers around him, big name receivers like he's had before. They were very surprising to me that they were able to go undefeated at home and win as many games. I knew they were going to be okay. I didn't think they were going to be that good, get into the playoffs. They don't make the championship. Now, here's what I'm saying. Great season last year. I don't think we're going to see that version of Buffalo this year? I think they're going to struggle. They're going to take a step back. What do you think about the Bills coming up in 2025?
Josh Allen had a good season last year. How far they win the playoff, Gabe?
I think they were one game short of the championship game, right? They lost to who was it? They beat Baltimore, didn't they?
They went it's average.
Okay.
So Josh Allen's best chances of going to the Super Bowl is when they had Stephon Diggs. What was this guy's name? Khalil Shakur is not taking you to the Super Bowl. Keon Coleman, the second-year player, is not taking you to the Super Bowl. Your running back, James Cook, is not taking you to the Super Bowl. You had a good season last year, but I feel like I'm going on a limb. I feel like if the Miami Dolphins put everything together and start clicking, they will win that division.
Okay. Josh Allen gets MVP. Did they get it right last year?
How do you get MVP and you NFL second team All Pro? What was the last NFL player who got the MVP as a second team All Pro?
So what's the reasoning? Why did they give it to him? I mean, he had a good season. I mean, he played. I mean, do they give it to him because he was able to take the team as far as he did with less talent? I mean, is that something that plays into being an MVP? Do they look at it and say, well, look how far he got, look how he played? Because really, let's be honest here. I mean, they got to where they got to because of Josh Allen. They didn't do it because the Buffalo Bills, their offense. He was their offense. Is that why he got it?
When the last time a second team All Pro won MVP of the NFL? He got that MVP because they were tired of giving it to Lamar Jackson. They were tired of giving it to Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
They had to give it to somebody else. To me personally, I think Joe Burrow had a better season than Josh Allen.
Yeah, but his team just struggled, right? They got better down, and I understand. I mean, his numbers definitely were good, right?
Better.
The team, yeah. And had he gone deep into the playoffs, shoot, I don't know if he gets it, but I'd have to agree with you. Joe Burrows, you didn't talk much about him, but his numbers were great last year. The team didn't do very good, but his numbers were definitely good. He might have been the best quarterback in the NFL as far as stats. I don't know if he was number one, number two. I know he was top three. I saw. I think he was number one. I saw as far as passing last year. Joe Burrows was number one. I think he had the most passing yards. Is that correct?
Josh Allen get the MVP, second team All Pro.
Another debate we'll have around here and get James's thoughts. But obviously, yes, he gets the MVP. So last year. So I don't think. I don't. I mean, I don't think they. I think they win the division because look, we're gonna break down Miami, New York, and New England. I don't think neither one of those teams are good enough. I know you talked about Miami, and we'll break them down here in a bit. But I early on will say, and look, I'm gonna say this. I can still change it. I can still change. I'm going to tell you. I think Buffalo is going to win the division again. I can change that because I got the right to change that before the season starts. We'll make another prediction once the season starts. As we make our predictions on who we think are going to win, once week one starts to play, we can't change it anymore. Right now, we can. I don't think I'm going to change mine, but I am looking for Buffalo to win it again. I think they're still going to be better this year than the other three teams. I don't know if you want to go out on a limb now or you want to wait till we get closer to the season.
I'm going out on a limb now, Gabe. You know how I am.
I know you're going Miami.
Miami Dolphins win that division.
Okay, so let's go to Miami Dolphins. Last year, 8-9.
Exactly.
We have a lot of questions, James, about Tua, their head coach. I have questions on that guy too, as far as his ability to coach this team and win enough games to get into the playoffs. So there's a lot of question marks between Tua for Coach McDaniel. Why do you think that Miami all of a sudden this year can pass Buffalo and win the division and get themselves into the playoffs?
I think Uh, Me personally, I think Miami has a better supporting cast. Tua has
Okay.
a cast than what Just Allen has in Buffalo. We got Waddle. You know, Tyreek Hill, he got something to prove. A Cheney from the running back from A&M, man. I think if Josh McDonald, really put everything together and run the offense like he did in San Francisco, they have a good chance to win in that division. I just feel, and they got Minka Fitzpatrick, a veteran leader on defense.
Yeah, they got him this year. They just made the trade. They got rid of Ramsey, and I think that's a win for them. Right.
He played the cornerback. Minka, he played that safety position. He gonna control that defense. I just feel like me. I feel like Miami will win a division. Buffalo will be second. The Jets will be third, and the Patriots will be last.
Oh, okay. So they had these with the exception of Fitzpatrick, which they just made the trade, and Fitzpatrick now, and I think Miami won that trade, me personally, right? Ramsey's older. I think they wanted to get away from him. They make the trade. I think that makes Miami's defense better. But offensively, they had Waddle last year. They had Tyreek here. They were better on paper last year than Buffalo, and Buffalo still beat them. Why do you think this year is going to be different? What's going to be the change this year? Is Tua going to stay healthy and be better this year than he was last year? Did Coach McDaniel finally? Do you think he figured something out last year that he's going to coach better this year?
My mistake. I said McDonald. It's McDaniel. My mistake.
Yeah.
But they had a lot of injuries last year too, though, Gabe.
Okay.
Vic was out sometime. Waddle was out sometime. They running back from A&M, he was out sometime. They had a lot of injuries last year. I feel if they can stay healthy and Josh McDaniel can put that San Francisco offense to work in Miami with the talent that they got, I think they can beat Buffalo. Because I'm not sold on Buffalo. I'm just not sold on Buffalo. I'm not sold on the running back or the receivers. I'm not sold on it.
Look, I agree with you. On paper, Miami's better. They should win the division. They're better. Miami is they're in a better place in terms of winning the division. They have the most talent in out of these four teams to win. They're better on paper than Buffalo, than New York. And you're right. Anything, look, for the Miami fans, and we have some where we work at. I was talking to your boss the other day, and I was talking about Dan Marino, and he said, "Hey," so I found out that your boss definitely is a Miami Dolphin fan. So I got to be kind of careful what I say around them. I like Miami, James, but they've underachieved, man. They were better last year and the year before. Buffalo really hasn't had on paper much outside of Josh Allen. And when you look at on paper what Miami has, and I know injuries have played a part. That's why I have question marks on Tua and how good is Tua going to be? How healthy? He has to stay healthy. I'm not big on this coach. I thought when he first came in and his offense was good, I think they have caught up to his offense. I think defensive coordinators know what he wants to do. And I think he has not been able to make the adjustments for Miami to have to win. And I'm talking about in-game adjustments because Miami shouldn't be losing. They should be going deep into the playoffs. They should be one of these teams that we're talking about when we talk about Kansas City, when we talk about Baltimore, when we talk about Cincinnati. I know Tua's not yet played the way Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, but the team is good. The team is good. They've underperformed. And so let's see if
Yeah, yeah.
they have. And so health has been an issue. They have had injuries. That is true. And the injuries to key players at key moments has hurt this team. I think Buffalo's going to win, but I would not. I'm going to pick Buffalo and stick with Buffalo because Josh Allen has been that dude. Josh Allen, I've seen Josh Allen take this team and win a division with hardly any players last year. So I like Josh Allen. I'll be honest with you. Josh to me is better than Tua. I just have more confidence in.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
I have more confidence in Josh than Tua, but Tua's got better players around him. Tua doesn't have to be and play. See, look, to me, Josh Allen needs to be, Superman for his, and he has to do a lot every week for this team to win. If he has a bad game, they're going to lose. Where Tua doesn't have to be Superman for his team. He's got great players around him. He just needs to play at a level where he doesn't make these big mistakes in Miami wins. That's why I think Miami, when you say could possibly win, Tua doesn't have to be Superman and they can win. Josh Allen needs to be Superman every week to win. So I'm going to stick with Buffalo, but I think they're going to struggle. They're not going to win. I don't think they're going to go 8-0 at home like they did last year. And maybe James is right because you're hearing it here. James is going to take Miami to win the division. I got Buffalo. Now, we can still change it as we read articles because remember, injuries can happen in training camp.
I'm not changing.
Okay. So if Tua was to get hurt and he was out for the season before week 1 started, you'd still stick to Miami?
Oh, you put me in a spot, Gabe. You put me. I got to change then. That.
But right now, okay, so I'm gonna say it like this. Right now, I'm Buffalo and he's Miami. But we're the reason I'm saying we can still change is because injuries can happen. We've seen that happen in training camp to a player that could, okay, like this player's out. Now we're gonna change it. So we do have the option to change it. But once week 1 starts, and that game starts in week 1. Once we make our predictions, we cannot change it. So you're hearing it here. I'm taking Buffalo, James, Miami. You heard the reasons why. Let's go to the Jets. Aaron Rodgers gone. Glenn, I like Glenn defensively. We saw what he did in Detroit, and we saw everything that Detroit did last year. So I think he's going to be very successful at some point. I think they got the right hire in Coach Glenn. Now, how will things look in week 1? He still has to put his footprint, his paw on the team. We got to run his system. He's got Justin Fields, who you and I talked about, played really well in Pittsburgh last year. They benched him to take Russell Wilson, not a quarterback that you're very fond of at this point. But they made that decision when Justin was winning. Now he's got another opportunity. I think under Glenn, we're going to see the best version of Justin Fields. So I think you said you had them at 3rd. Why not 2nd and 1st next year?
I have a Miami number 1 in the division. I have Buffalo number 2, and I have the Jets, number 3. But I feel like the Jets could go 9-6, 9-7.
Ooh, okay.
10-7. I think because I believe that, Justin Fields finally has a head coach who can mentor him and really show him the game, the football game, and how to play NFL quarterback. He hasn't had that since he's been in the NFL. They got young talent. Yeah, Bryce Hall. They run running back by committee. Sauce Gardner. They got a good team, some good players, good young players. It's gonna take Aaron Glenn a little while, but to get them all to gel together and become great football players. But in never know. 2 years, Jets could end up winning the division.
I see that. I think year 1, it's got to take him some time. Justin Fields. I'll say this about Justin in Chicago. He didn't really have good coaching. He didn't. Then he goes over to Pittsburgh, and we saw what happened over there. This is going to be. He's going into this season knowing that it's his team. They've already come out and said that this is our guy. So they made that very clear from the very beginning. So in his mind, there's no, it's my team. And now I get to put my print on this team. There's no questions outside. I stay healthy. I'm starting week 1. They've made that clear. There's no Aaron Rodgers. All that drama's gone. It's my team, new ownership, not new ownership, new coaching staff. So we're going to start all over. We are going to see them probably struggle a little bit in year one under Coach Glenn, but I do think that in year 2 and 3, we're going to see some improvements. I do think that we're going to see improvements as the season progresses. But I think we're finally going to see the best of Justin Fields, or he's going to have the opportunity to show, look, this guy can play in the NFL. He can, right?
Yeah.
And now he's got a coach that's going to take him under his wing and is going to teach him the ropes. He's got some good coaching around him. So I think we're going to see the best of him. I do think next year, I do think they're the third best team in the division. I think they can give Buffalo a little run. Maybe they split it 1-1. Maybe they split with Miami 1-1. But if the Jets split 1-1 with those teams, that's a win for Glenn, right? Like he doesn't have to sweep them, but if he can split it, man, that's great for him. So last year they're 5-12, James. The Jets were 5-12. You said you had them at what now?
I got them. I think they can go. I'm looking at the Jets going, 9-7.
9-7. Okay. So they're better. They're going to be better. Their record's going to be better. And I think that's probably right because they're not all of a sudden with Coach Glenn going to come in and just beat these teams. They're going to struggle. They've got to work their way through some bumps. But 9-7 is good for them if they get there this year versus what they had last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look at 5-12. They're better defensively. This is not a bad football team. They got a good defense, right? They just had a lot of stuff going on. Look, last year they gave Aaron Rodgers, they basically sold the house and gave Aaron everything he wanted. They basically said, Aaron, you're the coach, you're the GM. Because even though there was a GM and there was a coach there, Aaron was running that team. They brought in his coordinator, they brought in his receivers. So they built everything.
Lazard. Why would you be Lazard?
Yeah. They basically, Aaron ran that team, even though he didn't have the title. He ran that team. They gave him everything he wanted. You saw the record, 5-12, not good. They're all gone. So it's a new era. It's going to take Coach Glenn some time, but I think they made the right decision. And look, when Coach Glenn came in and they hired him, Aaron was gone. I don't even think they had a
gone.
Yeah,
how you 12 with Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, and Breece Hall.
Yeah, I know.
And a nice defense. How do you go 5-12?
Well, and here's the other thing. Coach Glenn didn't really have a sit down face to face, right? You're gone. I mean, I don't know if they did, but it wasn't a very long conversation from what I read in articles. Gone. You're gone. Like,
Aaron Glenn came in and said the way he gonna coach his team. He said and Aaron Rodgers, you not part of it.
No, and as soon as he got hired on, Aaron was gone. That decision was made. There was no sit down, I think, with what do you think? I'm the coach. I'm the head coach. I'm telling you, he's not coming back. And that was it. And that's the
you was gone.
Yeah.
On the
and
they told you was gone. You're not coming.
And that's the way it needed to be. It needed to be. No, and like I said, for Justin Fields now, this is your team. Going into training, this is your team. There's no questions. There's nothing up in there. We're telling you this is your team. Now start preparing yourself and let's go win some ball games. And so again, 9-7 is what it sounds like. We're going to beat the Jets. We're looking for the Jets to be better record-wise. Not possibly. We don't have them in the playoffs. You never know what can happen. But 9-7 is definitely an improvement from 5-12. And then let's go to the New England Patriots.
That Justin Fields has played on.
Say that again?
This is the most talented team that Justin Fields done played on. Look at his teams in Chicago.
Look
at Pittsburgh. This is the most talented team that Justin Fields is going to quarterback for. Like I say, 9-7, couple of years, I think, they can probably be between first and second in the AFC East.
Yeah, I don't see. I mean, I think they're going to get better. I think we're going to see improvement throughout this year. You're going to see them win games that we didn't think they could win. They could split. I think they're good enough to split 1-1 with Buffalo and Miami. I just don't think they'll win enough games to have a better record. But I think that I can see them splitting the division series with them 1-1. I mean, I don't think they'll get swept. So we'll see. The Jets will be very interesting, but again, we don't have them in the playoffs. Or we'll see. I shouldn't say that because we don't know. But right now, we have them. We both agree they're going to be the third place team in that division. Then let's go to the New England Patriots, 4-3. What was that? No playoffs.
I don't see them in the playoffs.
No, neither do I. So the New England Patriots, 4-13. We knew, and I want to say this, Coach Mayo, Jared Mayo, I think was his name.
Yeah,
Gerard Mayo. Yeah. Let me just say this about him. I hated when they hired him, and let me tell you why. I don't like this one and done. I don't like what they did to Antonio Pierce in LA, in Las Vegas. I don't like this because look, Coach Mayo never had an opportunity. And this is what bothers me about this, James. I don't know if when he was hired to a team, because look, he got hired on a team that Bill Belichick had just left. It was going to take him time for him to have an opportunity to build this.
5 years.
Yes, give him 3 to 4, at least 3 years, right? At least to get him in there and then fire him. The team was no good, man. But no, Bill Belichick, who won Super Bowls for you, his last year with New England was bad. What did you think Coach Mayo could come in and do, right? They didn't give him an opportunity. I just don't like that crap. I don't like it. They're a scapegoat, one and done. I don't like that. So I'm gonna be on the record here saying I didn't like that. I don't know if he could be a good coach or not. He didn't do good his first year, but he was not given an opportunity. Look, we're gonna talk real here on GT 100, the podcast. I'm gonna say Coach Mayo, hope he gets another chance, but I can't say he's a bad coach because he didn't have the opportunity to see what he could do. That was not given to him. Now, Mr. Kraft.
Last year, who was the receivers in New England last year? Can you name them?
No.
Exactly.
And that's why I wanted him to have, and I questioned this hire. If they give him 3 years, I can see what he can do. He was gone after one. Not a surprise. I thought they were going to do that. I didn't like the way that they did that because I don't think he got the opportunity to really see if he could do it. But now they bring in Vrabel, Coach Vrabel, right? That's Kraft's guy. He played for the Patriots. He did some things in Tennessee, so he's coming in experienced. He's had some success in the NFL. So my question is, what's your thought first on Robert Kraft now bringing in his guy, Coach Mike Vrabel, to coach the Patriots? Because you know he's going to get a 3 to 5 year deal. He's going to get an opportunity that Coach Mayo didn't get.
Well, all I can tell the New England Patriots, Mike Vrabel, you don't got Derrick Henry. So let's see how you can coach without a running back like Derrick Henry. We're going to see how you coach without a running back like Derrick Henry. Yeah, possibly one of the top 5 running backs in the NFL. He kept the Titans. He had to. Ryan Tannehill, who got cut. Oh, no, let's go back. Ryan Tannehill, who was a punter / quarterback at Texas A&M. You get drafted by Miami. And then you get traded because they was done with you. And then you go to Tennessee Titans. Have one good year, Ryan Tannehill. Only reason you had the good year because you had Derrick Henry. So let's see what Vrabel going to do in New England without Derrick Henry. Let's see if he can really coach.
Okay. Now, they were 4-13. I'm going to ask you, we both have the Patriots sitting last place in the division. Now, I do have them there last year. I do think if Vrabel gets that 3 to 5 year, gets a really fair chance, which I think he will, to pick this team up, I think he can make them better than 4-13. I think they got that right. But next year, just making a little prediction here, how many wins do you give? Because like you said, he doesn't have a running back. How many wins do you give Coach Vrabel?
He'll get 2 more wins than they had last year.
So, okay. So he's going to win 6 games, 2 more better than he did this year. Wow.
So you got Stephon Diggs. See, but people have to understand, if Nico, uh, if the coach Ryan from the
Texans.
Houston Texans said you can move on, what's that telling you?
Well, Diggs wasn't even their first shot. They went after Godwin, I think, out there from Tampa. That was the guy they wanted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So get Diggs. What's this telling you? Houston let you go. Coach Ryan, come on. I just don't. They'll win 2 games. They'll win 2 more games. I don't even know they got Osborne from Minnesota. Osborne from Minnesota. Bro, you was nothing in Minnesota. You got them. Y'all got a couple defensive players, man, but Mike Vrabel, you don't got Derrick Henry no more. So let's see how you push the New England Patriots to a high position in the AFC East. I don't think. I
We
don't.
both, yeah, we both have them at last place, and I think that's where they're going to sit. And when we go to Stephon Diggs, right, that wasn't the guy that they had targeted to get. They wanted Godwin. They were going to get him. They didn't get him from Tampa, so they had to settle for Stephon Diggs, who's coming off some injuries, right? So he can still play, obviously, but I don't know if he's a top guy. But it's always nice to know that wasn't their main guy. That's not who they wanted as a receiver. So they just kind of went out. He was available and they got him. Now, I'm not saying they didn't want him. That wasn't their first target. That's not who they were trying to get. Their first target that they wanted, they did not get. So I think winning 2 more games, winning 6 total games, kind of I can see where they can do that. I think they don't even win 6 next year, to be honest with you. So I think you were a little generous there in giving them 2 more wins. But I do think, though, that Vrabel will get the opportunity, no matter how bad it goes for him next year. I think Kraft hired him, and he will get the opportunity, a 3-year, 4-year, to really put his handprint on this team. He's not going to get fired next year or the year after, unless he really goes bad. He's going to have an opportunity to draft his players. Robert Kraft will give him that opportunity because look, Vrabel was a New England dude. That he's a Patriot, so they treat their Patriots pretty darn good.
Kraft love him.
They love him, so he's going to get an opportunity that Coach Mayo didn't get. We'll see what he does here, but I'm with you. We've got them both in last place. I don't think that they're better than the Jets, than Miami, or Buffalo. So I do have them at last place again. Again, we'll continue to talk more about these teams as we get closer to training camp. Once training camp starts, right now it's been kind of quiet. Once the training camp starts, all these reports will come out. So definitely we'll be coming on every day, Monday through Friday. And of course, we'll be letting you know what the big talk is. And then James and I will give you our thoughts on what we think of what these professionals are saying, if we agree or disagree, and then we'll give you our thoughts on what we think and how these teams are doing. So it'll be a lot of fun. On Monday, we'll be back. And when it comes to NFL talk, we'll talk about the AFC North, which will be Baltimore Ravens, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Cleveland Browns, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So if you know, James and I have talked a lot about Pittsburgh and Cleveland off cam. So I think on Monday, when we talk NFL, man, it's going to be really good. We've got a lot to say about Cleveland, got a lot to say about Pittsburgh, and we'll ask James if James is willing to go out already early on and make a prediction on who he thinks is going to win this division. This is going to be a good one. So definitely want to tune into that on Monday afternoon. Again, we'll pre-record it at 4 and we'll upload it. This episode will be uploaded here in about an hour. And you can definitely go to, like I said, our GT 100 podcast Facebook page. We've got one also on Twitter. So that's where this is going to be able to be seen, these podcasts. On our Facebook is GT 100, the Facebook page, our Twitter page, our YouTube channel, and our Instagram account. So the Instagram doesn't have the whole podcast, but we do we make some clips, and those clips will be shared to our TikTok and our Instagram. So definitely tune into those. And again, it's all on GT 100 Podcast 2025, Real Sports talk. James, thank you very much for coming on, man. And once again, I'm going to leave it to you. Anything you want to add?
One more thing. Be generous and donate to the food banks for the young kids who just have nothing to eat and the elderly who doesn't have nothing to eat because of the high food prices. Let's be Americans and let's donate to the food banks. Corpus Christi Food Bank. Donate what you can. If it's 2 cans, fine. If it's 1 can, fine. If it's 4 cans, that'll be great. Donate and let's feed Americans.
Absolutely, James. Thank you for that. And again, enjoy the rest of your 4th of July, man. This podcast, again, will be uploaded in about an hour. You can catch it on all our GT 100 Real Sports Talk on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and then we'll have some clips available on our Instagram and our TikTok. Thank you very much, James. Enjoy the rest of your 4th of July. Do you work tomorrow or are you off the weekend?
You know, Gabe, we're going to be there tomorrow at work.
There you go. I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. And we'll be back on Monday. Peace out. GT 100 Real Sports Talk. Check out our podcast when you get a chance. And definitely subscribe to the GT Sports 100 YouTube channel. Thank you very much, James. We'll see you on Monday.
All right.